Hi Aries, welcome to your week ahead reading. We're going to do the usual 5-card spread. I've chosen the Work Your Light Oracle deck to finish with. It's a very similar deck to what we used last week, sat by the same person, in fact, Rebecca Campbell. So we're going to do usually 5 cards and see what lays ahead. I hope you've had a great week. Your tuning in last week was, oh my gosh, I could not believe how many people tuned in, made such lovely comments. Very, very grateful for that. And if there's anything else you would like me to do, I'll do like all sorts of readings. I just tend to stick to the week ahead because I think it's quite relatable for people. So straight away, the Six of Swords have come out for you, which is telling me that you're actually moving into calmer waters. Right, let's get this reading started. Dear Spirit Guides and Angels, please join me in this reading for Aries. Make it helpful, helpful and healing. Thank you. So what do we have coming up for the week ahead for you, Aries? So general energy is the Seven of Wands. Your opportunity is the Queen of Pentacles. Your challenge is the Page of Wands. What you don't see coming is strength. And the King of Swords is in your outcome and advice. So the Seven of Wands overall energy for next week, this is telling me that there's something that you perhaps need to stick to your guns over. You can see she's sitting in her power there. She's like, no, you're not changing my mind on this. Maybe somebody's trying to influence you to do something else. And this is a card to say, no, you do really need to perhaps have the strength to sit there and say no. And it's also about boundaries. It's about setting boundaries and not letting people keep putting on you. Queen of Pentacles is in your opportunities. So she's very resourceful, the Queen of Pentacles. She's very caring. She's the most giving financial queen too. But again, as I always say with the Pentacles, yes, it is your material resources, but it can also represent your time and your energy. It's whatever is the most value to you at the moment. So this is telling me there's an opportunity for you to perhaps shine actually, and make the most of what you've got. And I think making people realize around you too that you don't need all the big shiny vehicles. You don't need, whatever you touch, you actually turn into a good situation. And there's an opportunity for you to do that. The Page of Wands is your challenge. Now, the Page of Wands can be somebody who's very immature. This could be a work colleague. It could be somebody in the family. And they are very footloose and fancy free, say, and they can be actually quite challenging in as much as they won't be dedicated to anything. They're not sticking at anything. So again, maybe somebody around the workplace says they're going to do something and they don't, and it's just really frustrating for you. That is seen as a person, as I said, it can even be a child. It can be somebody who's just a little bit, there's no discipline to them, a little bit on the wild side, let's say. Strength is what you don't see coming. Now, when I said with the Seven of Wands, you sitting in your power, you saying no, you sticking to your guns and sticking to those decisions despite other people perhaps having their say. That's what I feel like. Somebody's going neat, neat, neat at you, and it's like, no. And maybe you're saying enough is enough. Because the Strength card is here, what you don't see coming. It's like you are going to surprise yourself by sticking to your guns, being that Queen of Pentacles. Look how almost smug she looks. Strength is the card of Leo, and obviously you being a fire sign, Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. King of Swords is in your advice and outcome, and again, this is all about making decisions based on truth, based on fact, being very wise. And again, I feel like you're having to be wise to somebody or a situation next week, which could involve, again, this Page of Wands. Usually the pages bring messages. So maybe you're going to be getting a bit of a challenging message through somebody who's just not very committed, if you like. Either way, it's if it's a person or an energy, it kind of like it's whatever resonates for you. So let's do some clarifiers on this. I have cleansed the cards, saged them, which is a lovely smell. Not for everybody, but I love it. Why do we have the Seven of Wands here, please, and thank you next week for week commencing the 14th of October. I don't know if I said that at the beginning. Seven of Wands here, please, and thank you. Why do we have it here for Aries? That's clarified by the Two of Wands, the Ten of Wands, and the Nine of Pentacles. So, yeah, the Ten of Wands tells me that, and I think you get this quite a lot actually, Aries. It's like everybody is putting on you at the moment. And the Seven of Wands is you saying no more. There's boundaries. You need to be setting boundaries, or you need to be delegating. And perhaps that Page of Wands is somebody that doesn't like to take instruction very well and can be a challenge. Now, that can be workplace, that can be home life. You know, we've always, you know, the children can be, as I say, a bit of a challenge, can't they? They're not doing as they're told. But I feel it's a bit more than this, because you're having to really put your foot down. The Two of Wands is you umming and ahhing about it. It's like, oh, shall I, shan't I? Do I upset the apple cart? Do I have my say? And then the Nine of Pentacles is you actually enjoying the fruits of your labour, so to speak. This is about you working hard, and it's almost, I feel like there's a situation next week whereby your hard work and determination, your independence, is perhaps coming into question. Maybe somebody's, I want to say, this situation would be something like where somebody comes into the workplace and you've worked really hard at something, and they literally, you know, I'm getting visions of somebody just screwing up a piece of paper and throwing it in the bin. And it's like, hang on a minute, I spent a lot of time doing that. So yeah, Nine of Pentacles there is enjoying the fruits of your labour, but that's why you need to sit in your power and put your foot down. Nine of Pentacles is also about, it's funny, I read that, the Nine of Pentacles, as a reversal, because that's the energy I'm getting from it. As a positive card, it is about you, again, the message of the card is enjoy the fruits of your labour. But in this situation, it's interpreted like, well, okay, you've put your foot down, you've set boundaries, now sit back and enjoy it. Now make the most of it. But for some reason, I think there's somebody challenging you, challenging your independence, is what I want to say. The Queen of Pentacles is you sitting there going, actually, no, because even if you are, you know, challenging me or pushing my buttons, there's an opportunity for you to sit there. And again, I feel like she's really sitting in her power too, isn't she? And being resourceful and still very generous with her time, her energy, even her money. I mean, it could be that you're lending some money to somebody. So why do we have the Queen of Pentacles here, please and thank you? And I love how she's sitting there, as I say, quite smug. Very same energy, wow, as the Seven of Wands, because look how she's, sorry, I keep going on about this, but I can't help myself. It's almost like they're both sitting there going, no, actually, no. I love it. Clarified by that Empress. It literally flicks out of the deck for you, Aries. It's, yeah, you are creative. You are resourceful. I think the message there is that don't be too fiery about it. Just relax. Things will happen. You know, when... Anyway, let's stop. Oh, gosh. I love it. I love this reading for you. Okay, that's also clarified. You've got the Emperor and the Empress together. So it's like you're in a team. There's somebody, or maybe somebody at work or at home, who's really got your back. And it's like you've come together to collaborate. Again, it could be a parental situation with a child that's been a bit of a challenge for you, or a family member who's got quite an immature attitude. But either way, wow, 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 this is really strong collaborative energy. It could be, as I say, the Emperor is you in the deck, is Aries. The Empress is the divine partner in this too. Wow, this is really strong for you. This is about control. This is about, but with the Empress, she kind of like makes things a bit more fluffier than the Emperor. So he's like, my way or the highway. You know what? You know, there's an opportunity for you to sit in your power, be resourceful, but say, I'm putting my foot down. And this is the energy I'm getting from this reading all throughout. However, the Empress is there to remind you that don't be too fiery about it, which is what I said earlier. Make it a bit more fluffy. Just sit back, relax. And I think it's a kind of let it flow. Because then you've got the Queen of Wands and it's like you go, yes. It's the Queen of Wands. Again, maybe she's connected to that Page of Wands. Wands is your suit in the tarot. Again, this could be you returning to yourself, returning to going like, you know what, now I can perhaps get back to myself. Again, though, with that Empress there, I feel like it is a message to say, don't slip into that Queen of Wands, because she can be fiery. She can be quite not really thoughtful about what she comes out of her mouth. So again, I think it's a kind of like sit in the Queen of Pentacles energy. The Page of Wands is your challenge. Page of Wands is your challenge. Again, it could be even a message that's coming to you about something that you was expecting a level of commitment to, and it's not turned out as you would have expected. A lot of different messages with pages, which is why obviously we clarify what is this about, please and thank you. Oh, the Five of Swords, whatever it is, they really push your buttons. King of Cups and the Moon. Okay. So the Moon is about things coming to the surface. It's about things that perhaps emotions and information that have been suppressed in the past. But as a challenge, I feel like there's something you want to say and you need to get off your chest with that Page of Wands. You've got the King of Cups here too. He's very supportive and loving, but as a challenge, he can perhaps be exactly the opposite. Somebody who's just not understanding and not getting you, really not very supportive and on board with what you're saying and doing. And with that Page of Wands too, it's like there's a lack, I keep thinking there's a lack of commitment, a lack of support. And then you've got the Five of Swords, and this is about people overstepping the mark with you, which is why you have the Seven of Wands there. And it's like, no, put your foot down. This Page of Wands, like I said right from the start, is somebody who has really pushed your boundaries. Again, it could be a work colleague who's just not performing even. Maybe you're their manager, and it's like, gosh, you know, time to say something now with the Moon. Strength is what you don't see coming. So it's almost like, well, it's going to, you know, you are going to be able to say it in a softer, because I'm really drawn to the lamb in that look. So she has that fiery lion side to her, but she also has that very nurturing lamb energy, very soft. So I think you're going to surprise yourself. Okay, that's clarified by the Ten of Swords, the Five of Cups, and the Three of Cups. Wow, you've got again this collaborative energy, which is what you had back here. I feel like there's somebody who's going to step up for you, almost stick up for you, or just agree. I feel like you're going to need somebody to just run it by and say, you know, and because you're probably thinking, am I overthinking this? Am I overreacting? And I think there's somebody going to actually be on board with you there. And again, it could be the Emperor and the Empress there that I felt there was that collaborative energy. The Ten of Swords is lovely to see. This is you walking away from grief, upset. This is like the end of some real stressy situations, because swords are our thoughts, our mental health. they are also about ideas, but with the Ten of Swords and her walking away, it's like, finally, it's almost like now you've said it, it's, you've got the swords and you've cut that crap, if you like. You've got the Five of Cups, you've got, which is loss, regret, disappointment, but you have the strength to deal with it. So it could mean that you're going to have to cut somebody out of somebody that you work with. You know, they might ignore you for a couple of weeks. That might create this tension. But you've got the King of Swords there. You can deal with that. You can look at it, sit again. Look how he's sitting, very sure of what the decision he's made, which is lovely to see. Oh, don't believe I just picked up the wrong deck. That's bizarre. So I'm obviously meant to clarify with this one. In fact, I need to take that. That is very strange. I don't even know where that was for me to pick it up. So why do we have the King of Swords here for Aries? Please and thank you. I've never done that, ever. It's obviously a message to say I need to look in this deck for clarification on that King of Swords. Wow, so you got the Seven of Wands out again. That's why they wanted me to clarify with this, because when I clarify with the same deck, you're not going to get the same card out. Whereas when you clarify with a separate deck, you can get a double message, if you like. And I can't tell you how important it is that you stick to your guns next week on whatever that decision is, because it's come out again for you. You do have the Tower, which is a major arcana, and it does mean there's something, usually means a big change, a big shift of something. And it could just mean the end of chaos for you too. It could mean that by making this decision, it may seem, as I say, somebody might not be talking to you. There might be some sort of ramification. And that's why the Tower is there. You do have the Four of Cups there, though, which, although it looks very, mundane, something is, not particularly interesting to you. I feel like this is by the end of the week, or the outcome is like back to normality. And now that sounds really negative, doesn't it? I'm not saying that your normal life is negative and boring, but sometimes when we've got so much going on, we think, I don't know about you, but sometimes if somebody says, "What are you doing at the weekend?" and I say, "Nothing, thank goodness." Because sometimes life is just so quick, isn't it? So I feel in that respect for you here, that's what this is going to create for you. Interesting that I had to clarify. So overall, next week, Aries, I truly feel it's you putting your foot down, having your say, not putting up with it, and surprising yourself. Okay, let's have a quick, let's see what other messages there are for you with this Work Your Light Oracle cards by, by Rebecca Campbell. I love this card. It's one of my favourite. It says, "Don't dim to fit in." How are you dimming your light in order to fit in? Well, hopefully by next week you're not. But maybe that's why this card has come up. It's like things are being suppressed, isn't it? You're being suppressed because you're going with everybody's ideas. But finally, I feel like, again, this is why next week it's important that you don't do that. There's a Seven of Wands. You stick to your guns. Shine that light. So I do hope you enjoyed that. Please like, subscribe, and the comments I get from you guys are, I just love it. I'm blown away by it every time. And again, if there's any other readings you'd like me to do, please leave them in the comments below and I'll see what other people say, and then maybe we can do some different readings. I was thinking actually perhaps doing a finance and career reading for each star sign too. But anyway, let me know what you think in the comments below, and I'll catch up with you next week. Thanks for tuning in as usual. Take care.